What's up guys, this is Sarah again, and today we are finally going to talk about Sonar again. A few days ago I released my first Fragpunk content video and I talked about how to play Sonar on defense, which was just a short video on how to play her on defense correctly, how to play her echolocators, how to position yourself on every map. And today I finally decided to do the same video, like a counterpart for the attacker side, for the offense. In this video I will be going into more detail on how to play Sonar, as I feel like on attack it's quite harder. It's not as intuitive to play Sonar as it is on defense. And I want to split this video up in like two parts. In the first part I recorded a video of a enemy Sonar I have played against in the past, where I feel like there's a couple things she does right and a couple things she does incorrect, and I feel like I want to just point that out to give you an example on how to play her better on attack. And then after that I will be showing you how to correctly play her on attack on every map, just like the other video. Yeah, so let's go into this video. Small disclaimer again, I'm not the best Sonar. I am at Plat 1 rank right now. I haven't played Fragpunk for like a week now, so maybe I'm not even making it to Diamond, but I still feel like I want to make this video. I want to bring out this content, as there really is no content about Sonar. So just see this as like a small beginner guide, and also every game attack and every person you see in this video, I am not hating towards, I'm just trying to help them. This is a educational video, of course, so no bad blood, no offense to anyone. I will just try to help you, and I took your gameplay as an example. No hatred, all good, all love. And now have fun with the video. Thank you guys. So, as I've said before, I wanted to take a quick look at a negative example on how maybe not to play Sonar on attack. And we're going to have a look at Sawbell, the enemy Sonar of one of my matches. But there's just a few situations where I feel like they could have saved their util for later, and they didn't do it. So we're just gonna have a look at this, and I'm gonna give a quick comment on what I would do differently. So in this round, they, with the entire team, decided to rush B. And at the start, they immediately used the silent step, which I don't think is that great, because you're not gaining anything from this. Their teammates are not even into container, and if there was a enemy, we do not have anyone on B at this round. If there was anyone, they would be discovered, just like they would have been discovered in this situation by pushing B main. Instead, they could have used their Sonic Surge to clear this corner here in the back, which I'm gonna show later on when I go into more detail on how to play Sonar on every map, because they just dry clear this corner to the right. Which is all fine, but I just wouldn't have done it. Also, and this is where the major problem lies, they place their echolocator right here, which is completely fine, but then just run into sight. And if there was anyone sitting to the right in this corner, this Sonar would have died, because they thought that by just placing this locator, they could make sure that no one is there. But this is not the case. There could have been 5 enemies sitting there, but not moving, and the Sonar would have died. So make sure you still clear your corners, as the Sonar scan does not clear corners that you cannot see. And now they get blinded, run back, and as you can see, the entire side now gets smoked, and now everyone floods the side. And they now again use their silent step at this situation, and I probably don't have to tell you that this is not smart, because even if you were to sneak through the smoke silently, enemies will expect you. So it does not matter, because there are 5 people on the side, that you sneak through smoke silently. You will still get farmed. You want to use your silent step somewhere where the enemies do not expect you, where maybe you can get a timing out of it by being silent, but not in this situation particularly. She didn't even run through the smoke, so it's not that big of a deal, and at the end they still take the side. So after all, it was a good round. I think I killed her here because she kind of overcommitted on this angle. She overcommits and just dies to me. So this was not a bad round, but I don't think it was because of her util, it was because of her team and us playing not well on defense. So let's have a look at another clip. Next round, she again silent steps her teammates, taking the peek into middle. And again, I shouldn't have to tell you, but this does literally not matter. You cannot hear steps anyways from this far, and you want to use your silent step once you have close contact with enemies, and you want to go for a close quarter peek where sound actually matters. By this distance, it doesn't really matter if you use your silent step or not. I would just save it for later because it's a very precious utility. After that, she actually takes the first contact in middle and tries to push up here, which I appreciate. The Sonic Surge even is also okay, but kind of risky. This sonar placement honestly works because she knows there's enemies close behind this wall, so this is okay. And this is kind of setting us, putting us under a lot of pressure. And now we see, oh yeah, the enemies got pulled. What is this Nitro doing? Wait, what is this Nitro doing? I didn't even see this. She's just running away. Oh my god, wait, I did not even know this. She got pulled in by the spider, kills the broker, and then doesn't even realize that my teammate is standing next to her and she completely sells Sonar. Oh my god, I did not see this. Okay, that is completely crazy. I did not know this. Okay. Alright. Okay, this kind of destroys my point for this round, I'm gonna be honest. I did not know this Nitro did not. She even died! Oh my god. I killed her as well. Alright, so I think this round is fine. My focus is more towards the silent step she did at the beginning. But again, do not use your silent step too early. You want to take it when you're really close to enemies and where noise suppression really does kind of help you get into positions where the enemies don't expect you, rather than using it at a very far distance to an enemy where they could not really make out where you're coming from anyways. So this is kind of my critique at this round. And also, Nitro, please check your surroundings. Holy Christ. This is kind of funny. So next round, they went B again, and like everyone, she used her silent step very early and died to a hollow point. And this may not be because of bad util usage. She really didn't have any chances to use the util that much. But if you just take a look at how the hollow point played this round, you can see that honestly that Sonar just kind of carelessly ran into her line of sight and died because of it. You have to be more careful clearing these angles. And personally, I feel like this could have been avoided if you, despite using your abilities well, just cleared your corners more carefully. If she was really expecting someone there and was ready for it, she would have had this hollow point before she got a bullet out. But Sonar wasn't really ready for it. So when you're pushing aside or you're just trying to take space, you need to make sure that you're kind of clearing your angles properly, and you always expect an enemy to sit around every corner. But this is fine, this happens all the time. Next round, you're kind of seeing where I'm going with this. She again uses her silent step. This was completely wasted. Like, there was no... This is like, you see the circle of where the sound would have been heard? There's no one. There's no one in this circle that would have heard the sound. The broker is like almost in it, but not really. Save this for later. You know, she takes all of the space right here, which I like, which I appreciate. This is good. But she could have used it here and then maybe run onto the side or something. But she kind of gave her position away anyways by using all of this util, which is not necessarily bad. She got the info on the Nitro, which is good. But she's not following up on it. What I'm going at is just really the usage of the silent step. I think you can use it much more smarter than just wasting it at the start of the round. Then I think they even die because they kind of over peak. Yeah, I mean, there was not a real chance for her to kill me there. So yeah, that was it. I just wanted to talk about these couple of clips by this enemy Sonar. Again, no hatred towards them. They played good and they destroyed me in some rounds, as you saw. This was great. So I appreciate you for playing Sonar and trying her out on attack and doing all your util work and not being too afraid to use it. That was just me giving tips to you and everyone that's beginning with Sonar, and me trying to help you play her better. So now let's get into more detail on how to play Sonar on attack on every map. So the first map we are going to take a look at is Blackmarket, as I see the most mistakes on attacker Sonars on this map. What I see a lot of Sonars do on attack is they try to rush a main and then just place their Sonar right here. Just immediately place it here and then they just kind of stall with their team because no one really has the guts to peek this and try to take this fight right there. But this Sonar really is not that good. It does not scan a lot. It scans kind of these boxes and some of this area here, which is really not helpful as there won't be anyone standing here, maybe behind these boxes, but they're going to die eventually. So this is like the first person you're going to take a fight with after you have cleared the stairs. Personally, I would recommend not using any abilities as Sonar in a main at all. This is not helpful and you're kind of wasting your abilities on this. You should use your abilities once you have side control and you're trying to plant the bomb or trying to get into the after plant. And a Sonar that you could just do is when you run into this corner, place it right here. It has good sight into the CT rotations, even at short. What you could also do is when you have killed the guy that is playing on these stairs, you can run into this corner and place the Sonar right here. This is even more annoying and suppressing for the enemies that are trying to rotate from CT. And as a rotator, if you go into CT and try to take control, you'll see that this Sonar is extremely annoying and gives away your position. And you as a defender also have kind of the danger that the Sonar that placed the echolocator here could somewhere be around here. So you kind of have to clear these angles a little more carefully. And you as the attacker Sonar don't even have to play here. You can then fall back to side, maybe even main if you have the chance for it. So these are like the best two echolocators for the afterplant once you have side control on A. Personally, I would never go middle at the start of the round with Sonar. The only way this may work if your entire team comes here and you rush with silent step to surprise the guy that's holding short or maybe bridge. But other than that, you really have no abilities. Don't waste your abilities on this. Focus on default A or default B control and then let your hollow point play on middle and try to get the fight. If you go B, then also do not waste your abilities trying to rush these first couple of meters. Do not use your silent step at the start of the round to get into this position silently. This is not helpful at all. You can easily just sneak up silently and then take the pre-fire angle into the back there in case there's a sniper sitting and trying to headshot you. You will win this fight 9 out of 10 times if you have the setup correctly and you just pre-fire them. You don't even have to use a sniper for this, just use your rifle and spray them. And once you have control over B main, you can go and take this space. Your Sonic Surge is helpful to get this corner in the back cleared in case someone is sitting there, but there's no use to place a Sonar this passively over at B main. You can place it close here to get anything on the side. This is fine and this is also kind of suppressing for the enemies. But what's even better is you take side control first. You can use one Sonar echolocator and place it where I just showed you. And then once you have side control, you can try to run into elevators. And depending on how deep you can place this echolocator in the CT spawn, the better it gets. So this is already pretty annoying for the enemies. If you manage to place it here, this is even more annoying. And like I said before, you do not have to play where you placed it. You can just fall back after and play a more safe position somewhere on site. So next up is Akhet again on attack. On this map, I also would say you do not want to waste your abilities on middle or even try to rush middle. I think it's much better to focus on A to try to take the default control of A or maybe B, but we'll get to that later. You do not want to place any Sonar locators here or here. You will most likely not even make it to this space. And even if you can make it to this space, this is not a good locator. I would not do this. Instead, you should be helping your teammates that are trying to take fast control of A at some point. Maybe the Corona or a Kismet trying to take a fight there by standing here, making sure that in case someone peeks this angle, you can get them with this easy headshot angle. And you should take a flasher or maybe a burner and help them with an easy flash that you can line up right here that flashes over the entire A side. If you look at the map, you see that this little white dot shows where this is going to land. So you can focus it more on the right side or maybe more on the left side. And this is a very good flash to help them enter the site. And once you have control over A side and someone's planting, I would recommend planting the diffuser right here all the time. The converter should be laying right here. This is a safe planting spot and also makes it very easy for you to later on throw some lineups with grenades to make the defuse even harder. But when you are not planting, you can place an echolocator right here, maybe even somewhere right here to focus more on middle. But all of these, wherever you try to place them on this wall, they cut off the A-long rotation from CT, which is very annoying for the defenders that are trying to regain control of A-side. So I would place it somewhere along here, so it makes it harder for them to rush A-long. And as Sonar, I personally wouldn't even stay on site after this. I would fastly take back control of A main, because people are going to rush from B to your spawn into A and try to take you off. Even if you are planting or if someone's planting, there should always be someone right here to cover that no one is flanking you, otherwise you will die so much faster. If you decide to not take flashes with you, but rather play for the afterplant, you can again just hug this corner and then line up your crosshair right under this little barrow that is here. And then you see on the map where your fire lands, and it will land right where you planted the diffuser. So if you plant it behind this little pillar, this fire will make it impossible to defuse, as fire really does a lot of damage in this game. I'll get less damage as it's my own fire. But this is a very good afterplant model. Just make sure to not use it too fast. It doesn't hold that long and you only have one of it. The less fun option, despite taking A, could be to take B control. But when you have an assault rifle and you are Sonar, there's really not a lot you can do. You will most likely get sniped out somewhere from side. There are so many angles that you can expose yourself to. Do not go long. Just save your abilities for later and let your teammates that have better equipment, better abilities and guns take these fights. Once you are on site though, you have a lot of options for good echolocators. You can place an echolocator right in this corner to make sure that no one is coming from the lift or from B lane. You could even go a little deeper than this and place it here to make sure that no one is coming from middle, and even if they come from middle they get exposed by it. And then you have many options to play. You could take the lift and go upstairs and play on the roof, like on the tower, and defend the middle push and also on site. But then you have to make sure that it is planted for you in this situation. There's many good plans. You could plant right here for the B long control. You could plant here for like the tower and also B short control. Usually what I like to do as Sonar, I'll just safely place my echolocator right here to make sure that B lane is cleared and B lift. You could place it a little deeper, and then I try to take CT control as fast as possible. Then just make sure that you like jiggle this angle and try to cut everyone off that is trying to rotate. Even if you die like after getting a kill, this is fine. You just have to make sure that maybe you have someone else playing here, or that your teammates are ready that if you have died here, there is danger coming from CT spawn. What I would not do is just sit here and hide around this corner and wait for someone to peek you. You will most likely lose all of these fights. You have to always constantly move and make sure that you are peeking your enemy and not that your enemy is peeking you. So next up we have Tundra on attacker side this time. On Tundra there's no real way to rush a bomb site as they are too far from your spawn. The only thing that would kinda work is middle, but I'll get to that later. First up, if you just want to take default control over A and B, the main sites, I would recommend you as Sonar, if no of your other teammates is doing this, to hold this angle with a sniper. This angle actually gives you perfect shot on the enemy's head if they peek this, like the hollow point that always silently and slowly creeps around this corner. You could easily just headshot her and then give up the angle, take the assault rifle that you have put here for you, and then you can take space. And then it's kind of up to you and your team how you want to do this. One thing I often see Sonars do is rush into B main, and then with like 2 or 3 teammates, they'll just place this echolocator right here, and then they wait. The enemies will know that you are here, and you're just wasting time doing nothing, getting no space, and the enemies just group up easily on B until you decide to run away, and then the enemies just rotate back. So don't waste your abilities on this. Save your abilities for when you are on site. One thing you could do when no one is rushing, you could help your Corona or maybe Kismet with the silent step to just run around this angle and make it hard for the enemy to react to you since they do not hear you run and maybe are holding this angle a little more closely. Once you are on site as Sonar, I would always immediately go and take this area of space. Do not run into CT, this is not useful. You would always want to make sure that this is clear, so make sure this door is opened all the time. Because if this door is not opened and it's closed, your team will maybe stand here, hold CT, and then at some point this door will get opened and they have no clue what's happened and they'll just die to it. And then you can go here, place an echolocator here to make sure that someone that is trying to run B-Link has a hard time. If no one is on B main, once you have planted, you can plant this echolocator here, just like you would do on defense. Going to A is kind of the same thing. You don't have good abilities to use when you're trying to take this default space. Usually I like to place this echolocator, but this is honestly just trash. Like, you're getting 10% value out of it by taking control of the ice spikes, but this is not helpful. Also, at a main exit, you really do not have anything useful to do with the sonar locator. So help your teammates get on site. Use your silent step to maybe swing an angle that the enemies don't expect. Use your sonic surge to clear some angles and chests that someone, and corners that someone could be hiding around. But then make sure that you just get on site safely, and then you can plant your echolocators and make it hard for the enemies to retake. This echolocator in this corner works. This is fine. You're kind of focusing a lot on CT, but it should be okay. As Sonar, I usually like to play around this angle in the back of the site. I'll just give up middle control and I hope that a teammate of mine does this. And it's pretty unlikely that an enemy is flanking through a main. That is most of the time not happening, as it takes too long to run from B side all the way through T spawn to A main. They'll most likely come through middle or even CT spawn. So what you could also do is kind of deceive the enemy by placing this echolocator, but then still taking control over CT. And with this you have a lot of opportunities, since this is a very nice and cheeky angle that gives you so much control and sight on CT without exposing you too much. This should help you get so much free kills, because this is a very easy angle to play. And unlike the other maps, it's actually not that stupid to try to take middle control. Although you do not have good abilities for this, you can take a smoker with you, try to smoke off the A link, and then either run on B or run A with the smoke. You could also place the smoke right here. So if you have this smoke off, this also makes it very nice for you and very easy for you to take the A control. Arguably on this map, Sonar is probably the best on B on attack. Not that strong on A and not that strong on middle. You could pick another agent, but I usually love to play her anyways because of her silent step. I just find that very, very good to take these one-on-ones, sometimes to get a corner cleared or something. Alright, so next up, Outpost. There's a couple of things I've been doing on Outpost as Sonar, which worked quite well for me. Usually, you will have teammates splitting up to take A main control, B main control, and then you have the hollow point or maybe some other sniper peeking middle, or maybe B short. And what I usually like to do is I just stand on top of these crates, and if the A main guy has fallen, I'll just hold the A flank, because this will be a problem. People really do flank a lot as defenders on this game. Or if your B guy has fallen, I'll just hold the B main angle. And this is actually a very good angle, and even if someone peeks you could just fall off and then you're safe. Also, you could help out middle. And if you're very confident, you can just try to take this fight. And then usually, my B main guy has gotten an entry by now. Maybe got a frag somewhere here, a defender that has gone too aggressive and died. And then I'll come here to support them. And honestly, this is a good echolocator, and I can explain why. If I place this, then I usually really fast, I communicate to my teammates that I want to rush the side. I use my silent step, and we'll just enter side. And then you can get to an angle where the enemies do not expect you. And also this echolocator makes it that the B short guy, if there is one, has a lot of trouble moving. So they either have to stand in this open angle because this is not being scanned, which they will die to if someone that's running around the corner just clears them, or they'll have to give up the angle and play safe. And by then you will have made no steps and you were already on site, so this is pretty good. If you do that, make sure that the guy that has been holding middle now goes up B short as well, so you kind of taking pressure over the side from anywhere you can. And then once you're on site, you have quite a few possibilities to work with this. What I've been doing for the last few games is I just try to take these angles aggressively. You can go into short, maybe place an echolocator here, you can just place it on side, or you could use your silent step and maybe take even more aggression, which I also sometimes do. Try to take as much space as possible. If you have B side and you have the chance to do it, try to take control of the B side path and maybe some line of sight into CT. It just makes it so much harder for the enemies to retake and waste so much time for them. This is pretty good. I would always avoid running middle as Sonar. Just don't do it. And the same goes for A side. I have not had any good experiences on this side when I was trying to take space as Sonar. More often than not, I'll be standing somewhere around here, trying to take the fight with a defender that is going aggressively on this angle, and I just have my teammates standing right here and not having any sight of the guy that is standing over there. I just never take space on A, it's just not a lot of fun. You can just wait here and hold anyone that is trying to peek this angle. But once you get control over A side, you have a lot of possibilities. If you know someone's coming from middle, you can just place this Sonar safely here. You could maybe even place it safely here. This works fine. You could go here and place it if someone's rotating from CT. So you have a lot of opportunities. And also same rule goes for this. Don't just stay on site and hold the angles that are close to site. Go take space if you can. Peak angles like this. Go here, place in Sonar right here. This works. And then just fall back when you can. So this is how I would personally use my abilities on this. If you're one of the first people who's trying to take control of A, just use your silent step, run deep into the side, and you have a good angle on someone. So next up we have Yggdrasil. A general mistake I see a lot of people doing on attack is they just rush A, maybe take a fight with the person that is holding the sniper angle behind these boxes, and then these people will just throw all of their util on side like this, and then rush here to try and plant a spike. And this is like the worst thing you could ever do. You will either get spammed through short or through backside, and you will not even get the plant down. Or after that, the enemies with all their utils still in the back will smoke you off. Not even with smokes maybe, but just with abilities in general. And they will just stick the defuse in front of you. So do not just rush the site and try to get the plant down as fast as possible. Take your time, try to get picks, try to get control, and then plant the spike. And as Sonar, you have very, very limited abilities on A main. As always, you should not be the first one to take the site. But if you already have 1 or 2 teammates on the side, you can go on the side as well, maybe plant a spike or have someone else planting it. And what I like to do, or what I should be doing more often, is take control of short. I see a lot of people just running to the side, running in the back here, or maybe try to already take CT. If you're standing here in the after plant, you will die. You are like the first person to die. Either someone pushes you from up here, or someone that is coming from CT will just clear you here, since they have a wall in front of them. They don't really have to worry about anything else than this corner. But by going into short and clearing these angles and just taking this control, you have a very strong angle on site, on the spike, and on someone that is coming from CT. And with this Sonar right here, you will have control over the entire short A path. So if anyone tries to rush you here, they will not be able to come here without being noticed. So they either have to take like 20 seconds longer than usual because they have to wait all the time, or they just have to run through it and get scanned. So if someone should be flanking you here, you can easily know when they're coming and take the fight. And otherwise you will be here and have a good anchoring position on the after plant. When I play Sonar on this map, I usually just wait for my teammates to create any space. I'm not really helpful with my utility at any place here. Maybe if my teammates are trying to rush B, I just put my Sonar right here to check if someone is close around this corner, which surprisingly many people wait here with a shotgun or something to get a free kill. You have good Sonars for every after plant here. You can plant a Sonar just about here to make sure that someone coming from middle, if you do not have middle control or CT, gets cut off. But what is arguably the strongest position for you in this after plan is to be sure that you are middle when your teammates are on site. You could either fall back early or just stay here and take the fight here. Just stay here and do not give up the space and hold control over it. And then you have a great Sonar that when enemies are coming from T-spawn, you can place here, just like you would on defense. But arguably even better is this one. If you place a Sonar right here, you will scan into CT very deeply and also the stairs. So if someone comes from here, they will not be able to destroy this unless they just really tightly shoot the top of your Sonar standing right there. As Sonar, you should probably stay here, try to camp someone that's going up the rope, or maybe hold this angle. Do not die from behind. If someone comes from behind, just try to fight them and take the kill. This is all good and not wasted util at all. And like I've said on my Defender Sonar video, this space up here is actually very important. Because if you don't have the space and you have teammates just down here, they will get taken out by these areas that are here because they are so strong. So next up is Dongtian, And I have to be honest, I do not feel like this is a great map for Sonar on attack. On attack, I have not been feeling useful at all. You don't really have opportunities to contest middle well enough with your Sonar scan. If someone should be standing here, they just fall back to this angle. Or maybe this angle, and the guy that is holding stairs, if they have one, walks back 2 meters right here and holds this angle or this angle. So that Sonar scan really does nothing at all. On A, it's kind of the same. You just have this long pathway connecting to the A side, and you cannot place any sonars safely that will get much information on site. This is not a good sonar. And once you get on site though, which should be possible, you have a couple options. Maybe this one. But also this does not scan a lot, as the CT spawn still is so far away. This one really doesn't do a lot either. This is arguably okay-ish if someone is very close at A gallery or A back, but still this is not as helpful. The only probably best sonar scan you have is this one, as you know from my defense guide. If someone decides to flank middle late and come from A main to A side, you have this sonar which scans all of the pathways back there. But it can be destroyed from CT, so it's also not that great. And then the only thing left is B side, and what I often do myself, which is not great, I place the sonar right here. But this is just not a good sonar. Just don't place it, save your ability for later. And at some point, the guy holding there, the defender or this defender will die, and you will have an opportunity to rush on the side. You could use a silent step for this is okay. And then you can place some locators like right here, or maybe even here, to catch anyone off guard that is, rotating CT spawn. But still, even these sonars are not that great. It's just too opened to be useful. So my honest opinion, play sonar on defense on this map, but choose someone else on attack. It's just not worth it, and even your afterplan abilities and scans are not good enough for anything. Little sad actually, but this is just how it is. So the last map, Naos. I think playing sonar here could be working, but most of the times I just die before I get into an afterplant or anything. What I usually like to do is contest the snipers that are on top of A side right there. If you don't feel like taking the sniper angle on A, I usually just go and play default B control, and you actually have a lot of options here. I have never had someone drop down this fast here before, so I usually just take my silent step and I surprise the sniper that is taking this angle here. This is actually a very hard angle to take as a sniper, since what you can see is pretty narrow, and if you just run across it, or maybe peek them this close up, or behind the pillar right here, you will have good chances of scaring them away. I've never gotten the kill right there, I just hit them for a few damage, and then they fell back. But once you have secured this area, you can play this sonar as kind of the counter sonar to the ones defenders always place up here, or I place up here. And this is okay for someone that is still holding the stairs. I must admit, pushing up the stairs here is like the worst thing you can do. It's like no fun. I always die going up here because you have no cover, and this flower pot just is fucking in your sight. It's not nice. I just do not enjoy it. When you are here, you are just exposed to like 3 angles, and then also the close corners. Oftentimes a sniper is holding like this angle. Rushing B is no fun at all, so if you can, just bring smokes so you can at least like get rid of angles like this one and then maybe this one. And then you somehow have a chance, maybe. Once you have this side, there's actually plenty of options for you to play. Usually I run into CT and I place my locator right here, or I even go deeper like this and place it right here. This is also pretty good, but there's like a very high chance that someone is already standing here or is silently pushing and creeping up and trying to kill you. So you should be careful doing that. A different way you could play for the afterplan is just taking this short control or garden. And you can place locators here, you can play them right here if someone is pushing up from sacristy, or you could also just go for the defender variant and place the echo locator right here, and then go for the afterplant down here and just play this head angle. Middle, of course, is also an option, but you should be prepared to die for nothing. Defenders have line of sight on this door, so like you will start somewhere here, I think, and once you have reached this angle, there could be someone standing behind these boxes, behind this angle, head peeking the stairs back there. So if they have a hollow point who's hitting their shots, the first one to peek is already dead, and always dead. But if no one is here, You can use your silent step to take this middle space. Just having this control over the space is actually pretty useful. And after that, you're kind of open to go B. You can take the short path to go A. Maybe for some cases on this map, it's also worth to kind of switch an operator. If you want to go A, like on this opened space, you should not take Sonar. But if you take B control and try to play down this hallway, you should play Sonar. Otherwise, you're just not having great options for your abilities. Because on A, you just can't do anything with your abilities. It's just too opened, there's too many angles, and corners that are just too far away from somewhere safe where you can place your Sonar. I would not play her on this map personally, or when you try to go B, you can play her. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have made it this far, honestly, thank you, and feel free to write in the comments what you want to see. I'll be down to make any content about Fragpunk if you have any wishes for anything. This video took insanely long to make. I did not expect it to be this long. And it really took me a lot of time to edit this. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great time playing Fragpunk. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.